may be the greatest catch I've ever seen in my life.
All right, guys, back talking about the best fantasy football format we can discuss, Dynasty Fantasy Football. Guys, if you're not playing Dynasty Fantasy Football or are in a keeper league, don't worry, we're going to have a ton of spots opening up in leagues after this season ends, so you can play throughout this entire offseason going into the year. If you don't know what Dynasty Fantasy Football is, it's where you have your team and really you keep that team forever. You draft players as they come into the NFL in your rookie drafts every summer, very similar to what we have in the real life NFL, and you're also just making non-stop trades throughout the entire offseason as free agency goes by, as training camps happen. Really, it's the best way to play fantasy football. It's the best way to really get an edge over your league mates if they just play redraft. That's why redraft leagues are so easy by people who play Dynasty, just because they have every little ounce of fantasy football knowledge. Regardless, let's get into it and let's talk about 5, maybe 6 Dynasty Fantasy Football running back trade targets. All right, so let's start it off with a running back that we were very high on compared to consensus this past summer. You can pull up my Twitter and see that I was obsessed with him, Antonio Gibson. So right now, guys, with Antonio Gibson, I know it's been frustrating in 2020 so far, where we're seeing that consistent usage from J.D. McKissic. But with Antonio Gibson, he has everything that you would ever want to ask for. He has the size where he can handle all 3 downs. He has the athleticism where he does have that big playability. Really, if you look at a player like David Montgomery, that's exactly what he's lacking. With Antonio Gibson, he also has the receiving ability where he does have that very high ceiling if his usage changes in this offense. We know that he was a wide receiver for Memphis in college. Yes, this was not a running back that was really seeing a ton of looks throughout his entire collegiate career, just because he was more of a gadget type player, and a lot of people had their questions on how he could transition into playing the running back position his rookie season. So far, he's done a fantastic job where he really looks like he's naturally a running back. And honestly, if you look at him just running between the tackles, I think it's kind of best case scenario compared to what most people were expecting from a player who was just now learning the position. And because he's just now learning the position, I think it's entirely fair to say that he has not even scratched the surface of his potential. Now, there are some concerns in the fact that this Washington football team really doesn't have a long-term answer or even a short-term answer for the quarterback position, which is going to limit their long-term upside for the overall offense. We know that really dictates a ton of fantasy football production for the running backs, but still, Antonio Gibson could look to increase his passing game usage going into 2021. Already a running back that was sold to be extremely raw and just an athletic freak that has proven that he can learn the running back position. I think that really the sky is the limit with Antonio Gibson. If this offense turns it around, if they begin to use him in the passing game and phase out J.D. McKissic, I truly believe that Antonio Gibson could be a top 5 running back. All right, so now our next running back, our running back 1 going into the 2020 NFL Draft, DeAndre Swift. So we are going to stick it here with another rookie running back. You're going to find a very common theme for all of these running backs in this video. They are going to be running backs that are still on their rookie contracts. They're going to be running backs that have the size to see usage on all 3 downs. They're going to be running backs who at some level of football have proved that they can catch the ball. That's what we see exactly with DeAndre Swift. I know a lot of people, including myself, did not like the landing spot with the Detroit Lions, but really, he's proven to be everything that you would ever want him to be his rookie season. Really looks like a mirror of what we saw from Miles Sanders in 2019, where right away, I mean, even in week 1, they had DeAndre Swift in there with a passing down role. Now, this past, actually 2 weeks ago, because he had a concussion this past week, he really broke out as the starting running back for the Detroit Lions, handled the majority of the carries in this backfield as well. Now, this is exactly what we like about DeAndre Swift. If you look at his weight, yes, he's not necessarily a massive running back, but he's so short that his BMI is right up there with some other workhorse running backs in the NFL. So I don't think we have to worry about his size and handling that bell cow type role. On top of that, he is an elite pass catcher, probably the best pass catching running back from the 2020 draft class. So everything there is about DeAndre Swift is to be desired. Still on his rookie contract, I think that he is going to easily be a top 2-round startup pick this upcoming summer. All right. So now let's get to a running back that I don't have to spend a ton of time discussing, but Saquon Barkley. Now, guys, with Saquon Barkley, y'all know if you asked me right when he suffered that injury if you should go out there and send some offers for him, I said no, just wait until the end of the season, because what we see with these players who get their ACLs torn, for whatever reason, their value actually does not drop off right away. I think the owners really had that thought of what Saquon Barkley was going to be in 2020, really know the type of talent that he is going to be, and it's going to be providing that same type of usage in 2021. But as we have not seen Saquon Barkley for the past 2 months now, really that thought is fading to the back of Dynasty owners' minds, where you're actually going to get a much better discount on a Saquon Barkley now than you would have at the beginning of the season. No, he's not going to come cheap. Yes, you are going to have to pay a top 5 overall player price to get Saquon Barkley, just because he's probably going to be the first or second pick in Dynasty startups this summer. But with Saquon Barkley, really, he has everything that you would ever want. The best athlete at the running back position in the NFL. Probably the second best pass catching running back, only behind Christian McCaffrey. Playing on an offense that should continue to improve if they can invest into their offensive line this offseason. And on top of that, another running back still on his rookie contract. So everything that we're seeing with Saquon Barkley is making us want to go out there and value him as that #1 player overall in Dynasty Fantasy Football. And yes, you're not going to be getting a massive discount, but the injury is going to make him attainable. All right. So now our next running back, someone that I am probably higher on than 99% of the Dynasty Fantasy Football community, Miles Sanders. Guys, with Miles Sanders, I know he's been frustrating so far in 2020, suffering multiple injuries, but we have to remember, I know it seems like he's been in the NFL for about 10 years now, but no, this is his second season. He was drafted in 2019, so he is just now starting to play on that rookie contract. He still has multiple years left where we're going to be able to rely on him as a running back 1 in Dynasty Fantasy Football. Not only does he have the rookie contract, he also has the athletic profile, he has the pass catching ability, and I know this Philadelphia Eagles offense has been very bad so far in 2020, but they really can only get better with Jalen Reagor progressing, with Dallas Goedert proving to be one of the best tight ends in the entire NFL. In worst case scenario, if Carson Wentz continues to play this bad, we are going to see a switch to Jalen Hurts. All right, so now our next running back, someone that is very, very low in Dynasty rankings right now, Cam Akers. Now, I know if y'all been following the main channel throughout the season, I've been advising everybody in their redraft leagues to make sure they keep that spot on their bench for Cam Akers. But I'll say, based on the past 2 weeks where he's continued to increase his role in this offense, I think that Cam Akers is a very safe player to invest in, even if during this offseason you would like to go out there and sell and make an immediate profit. I think that you're going to be able to do that with Cam Akers. And even if you're not interested in that, we know that Akers is going to be the star player of this Los Angeles Rams backfield in 2021. Regardless of how much usage Darrell Henderson is going to be seeing, I truly believe Cam Akers is the running back 1 on this team. Yes, I think Henderson does limit his upside just a little bit because Henderson, very similar to a Miles Sanders, was drafted in that 2019 draft class where he still has a ton of space left to play on that rookie deal, so he's not going to leave the picture anytime soon. But I think we could see Malcolm Brown leaving this offense going into 2021, and if it's only going to be Cam Akers and Darrell Henderson, I think Cam Akers can provide us production, knowing that we can deal with a 2-man backfield. Just a 3-man backfield is where you have to draw the line because everything is so watered down. But with Cam Akers, another bell cow sized running back who has proven to be athletic, who has proven to be a pass catcher, at least at Florida State. So everything on his profile is to be desired. All right. So now our next running back, someone that broke out this past week, J.K. Dobbins. Guys, right now, J.K. Dobbins, looks like he is going to be winning people their leagues in 2020. Yes, on the COVID list right now, so sucks we're probably not going to be able to see him on Thanksgiving. Regardless, with J.K. Dobbins, just very similar to a DeAndre Swift, a Cam Akers, pretty much all of these 2020 rookie running backs, we know that they have extremely appealing profiles, and that J.K. Dobbins was a workhorse at Ohio State. He's a running back that, yes, did not test at the NFL Combine because of the injury that he suffered during that time, but we know that J.K. Dobbins has that athletic profile to really be at the top of this running back class, based on the production that we saw, based on the athletic numbers that we got from J.K. Dobbins early on testing at Ohio State. So here with J.K. Dobbins, a running back that's emerging in this offense, we're going to see no Mark Ingram, possibly no Gus Edwards in 2021, where J.K. Dobbins should be in line to be a complete smash. Now, thank you guys. I really hope y'all enjoyed this video. I really hope y'all got something from it. As always, go down there, drop a like, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel. Really helps us out, and I hope I'll see y'all in the live stream. Actually, no, I'm sorry that I said that. We're not live streaming yet on this channel. Maybe during the off season, I'll go through, make one live stream a week. Regardless, hope I see you in the video tomorrow.